Yeah, number one. Yeah, pathway. Yep. All right, let's get to it. You're welcome, as always, to red pens. You're also welcome not to. There's not a matter to me. I'm not going to copy the original problems onto the board because they're on your piece of paper in front of you. So I want to get this done. This will not take all hour, I don't think. There's just no way that it could. And then any questions you have, I can answer. You can have extra time to prepare a page of notes. I can give you more practice problems, whatever I can do to encourage you to get a perfect or close to perfect score. All right, that's the goal, the objective. All right, so problem one is going to be p squared plus 4p. And again, I'm not going to copy the problem down. I'm going to add 19 to both sides, and that's 21. And I've never done these before, so if I make a mistake, just, feel free to point and laugh and all that. I don't care, but point it out for sure. So I'm going to take half of 4, and I'm going to write that down. Half of plus 4 is plus 2. And I'm going to square that up to get plus 4. So I'm going to add 4 right here, and I'm going to add 4 right here. And you see right away, whoop, it's going to be a pathway rational number answer problem because the 21 and 4 make 25. 25 is pretty cool. So when I factor the left side down, I get p plus 2 squared. And when I do the right side, I get 25. Your positive negative sign should not have shown up yet. If it does, you're not understanding the whole point of it. Like, it's not there yet. It appears the moment you take the root, which is coming up right now. So when I root the left side, I get p plus 2 equals positive negative. And I don't need a root sign for 25. I just put 5. Okay. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, which is going to give me my not quite final answer of negative 2 plus or minus 5. And sometimes, as you know, that's the end. In this problem, it is not, of course, because these are numbers that can actually be added and subtracted. So we get 2 answers on this one. We get p equals negative 2 plus 5, which is 3. And we get p equals negative 2 minus 5, which is negative 7. And that will not happen again to us in the next half hour. So that's the only one where that is the case. Any questions on number 1? All right, let's head down to problem number 2, or across to problem number 2. So I have n squared minus 6n. And again, I'm going to go ahead and get that 5 out of there, which is going to make 13. And so we're back. Little pause there. I'm going to take half of negative 6, which is negative 3. I'm trying to lead by example and show you guys the importance of writing down that half number off to the right, because it does the factoring for you. But negative 3 squared is plus 9, so I'm going to add 9 right here and add 9 right here. And I realize this is going to be a short problem. Like 22 is trash, right? Like, it's not square rootable, but it's also not breakdownable. And so I know this is going to be a real short trip here. So I'm going to get n minus 3 squared equals 22. And you also do enough of these and you start to skip. I'm going to skip a step here and you tell me how you feel about it, because I'm okay with this next step being skipped. But again, you only realize that that feels good maybe after 7 or 10 or 12 problems. But I'm just going to jump right to it and say n equals 3 plus or minus root 22. Like, that just starts to happen. Like, you were going to write n minus 3, but then you're just going to move the thing over anyways. So in a case like that, just up to it. That's final, right? 22 is a dead root, so that's the final answer there. Number 3 is this one needs a little bit of prep work. So I'm going to leave the x squared. I'm going to pull the 12x across. I'm going to leave a space, and I'm going to move the 88 back across. So make sure you're aware of switching your signs as you move things around. Half of plus 12 is plus 6. I'm going to square that and get plus 36. It looks like this is going to have a little bit of meat on the bone. This is kind of the first level up kind of problem, because the number on the right is negative. So we have to be aware of the I situation. And it's also going to be 52, which means that 52 is a tough one. But you've seen him before. What's the 52 combo? It's not dead. 4 and 13 is our guy. That's the combo, right? And it's just one of those things through experience that I've seen 52. So that's what's coming down the pike here. So the left side is x plus 6 squared. The right side is negative 52, and there it is. And so I don't want to skip steps on this one, so I'm not going to. I'm going to do x plus 6 equals positive negative. Now, switch colors here, off to the side. Ideally, by the time we get to almost February, we want everyone to be really good at this. So we think of this in 3 parts. Part 1 is there's going to be an I, and then part 2 is good root, and part 3 is like bad root. So I'm thinking of this as a root 4. There's an I out front, maybe somewhere, and then a root 13. 2I root 13, yeah. I is a little booger. Just always remember that I will always go after a rational number, but before any irrational number. So after the regular number, before the root. That's just where his home is supposed to be. So anyways, yeah, x equals negative 6. Then plus or minus 2I root 13. Any questions so far? That's 25% of the way home. We good? All right. Question number 4. Number 4 looks like it's also in need of a little prep work. So I'm going to leave the n squared. I'm going to pull the 18n, and I'm going to leave the negative 84. Okay. Half of plus 18 is plus 9. Square that, you get 81. Can already tell we're going to need an I, right? So let's factor down the left side into n plus 9 squared. What's negative 84 plus 81? Negative 3. We don't have quite enough plus to get back to 0, but we got close, negative 3. So we're going to wind up with, I'm going to skip a step here. So n equals negative 9 plus or minus I root 3. The square root of negative 3 really can't do, there's not much to do, but you do have to check, pull the I and then root the 3. The 3 can't be rooted. Questions there? 4 down, 8 to go. 33.3 repeating percent of the way home. Number 5. You doing okay there, Corbin? Okay, good. N squared. Stay. 16n. Stay. 67. Go. There we are. What does half of plus 16? I guess I'm good here. Listen, it's been a rough morning for me. I got to pause again. Right. Here we go. All right, what's the left side factor down into? N plus 8 squared, right? And if you haven't gotten this memo yet, like the reason I write that down is because it mimics that. Like, there you go. So as I said before, you don't even have to know how to factor. Like, you just whoop, copy it in there. So what is negative 68 plus 64? Yeah, and it's time to rooty toot. Root the left side, you get n plus 8. Immediately insert the positive negative sign. What is the square root of negative 4? Just 2i. Yeah, and listen, if you put I2, like most people aren't probably going to go like, oh, that's wrong, but it's just a thing. Remember that i's go after rational numbers before irrational numbers. So we would put the 2 first and then the I second. I2 is like, kind of sounds like a model of a computer or something like that, like a microchip. So then, yeah, that would have been a good one to probably just skip that step and move the 8 to the other side. So we're going to get n equals negative 8 plus or minus 2. All right, one more, we'll mark the halfway point. Let's knock that out, and then we'll check for questions at the halfway point. So number 6 is a little bit of prep work required. So we're going to leave the m squared where he's at, and then bring the minus 6m. And then let's drop that 56 over to the left, and that gives us negative 66. Like that. Good, good. What's half of negative or minus 6? Yep. So negative 3 or minus 3. Kind of feels weird to call it minus, but it's all good. And let's square that up. What do we get? Yeah, so we're going to complete the square by adding 9 to both sides. What's the left side factor down into? Good job. And then the basic math, as always, don't let it be the reason why we miss. What's negative 66 plus 9? Totally negative 57. Is 57 a prime number? It is not. That was a trick question. 19 and 3. So just always be aware of the difference. Like, you don't have to be prime to be trash. So is 57 a trash number? Yes, but he's not a prime, right? He has factors 3 times 19, but they're both trash factors. So when we get to the part about what do we do with the square root of 57, we just pump the brakes, right? Yeah, like you could totally just hop ahead right here in that thing where we kind of skip that intermediary step. You could just take the m and get it by itself, get the -3 to the other side by making it +3, and then just put your positive negative I root 57. Done. You feel comfortable if we skip that last step? That all good? Okay. What changes now when we get to problem 7? Right. You can expect the same sort of flow. I'm not gonna, I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say. I don't intend to mix them around on the quiz. So like the flow is the beginning is kind of like our warm up, like this has been, and then the end we're going to get a little harder with fractions, and then at the end we're going to get a little harder with not only fractions but also having the prep work. Like look at problems 11 and 12. What's with them? You got to divide before you can begin the process, right? So there's just it's always, I'm pretty predictable. There's like these layers kind of. It's like what I did in algebra today. You guys remember solving systems by elimination? There's like level 1, level 2, level 3. That's how I feel about this. So we're about to embark on like a level 2 perhaps. You ready? Any questions on the first part? All right. Let's get to number 7. We've got x squared plus 19x. And again, I don't want that 45 where he's at. So I'm going to add the 45 to the other side. And what am I going to get? There it is. So prep work done. And this is it. So what's half of 19? 19. Yeah, the kid. Remember, so we're going to take that plus 19 and we're going to divide it in 2 and call it plus 19 tooths. And then we're going to square that, right? What's 19 halves squared? 361 over 4. So we have to add 361 over. Someone watching this would say, wow, it looks like it really just got a lot harder. And it's like, well, it kind of did, but I mean, it's the same process, right? Like what we're doing isn't changing. It's just more annoying because we've got fractions now. So got fractions and he pieced out. Look at that. Just like that. You don't want to stay for the fractions? So let's factor. What's the left side factor? What's the left side factor down into? Yeah. And then there's the basic math, right? I feel like we got this. We're going to multiply that 41 by 4. The repeated nature, the predictability of this is soothing because like I always know there's going to be 4s. What's 4 times 41? 164, right? So this is actually 164 fourths. And then if you add those two numerators together, what do you get? 525. Good still? Okay. And now it's time to square root both sides. I know that 525 is not square rootable, but I think it was this class, I think, where we were discussing quarter math, right? And I'm a big believer, like it doesn't help all the time, but if I ever see a number like this, the first thing I think is I got a pocket full of quarters and I got $5.25. And we're all big kids, like we could figure that out. If it was all a pocket full of quarters, how many quarters would it take to make 5 1/4? 21. Because 20 quarters would make the $5. I need 21. So when we think here in a moment about breaking down the number 525, think of it as quarters, 25-cent pieces. It just helps. I like to avoid a calculator whenever I can. So when I factor the left-hand side, I get x plus 19 tooths. And then I immediately put my positive negative sign. And the root of 525 breaks down into the root of 25. There's my 25-cent piece, but like we said, it takes 21 of them to make that. So that becomes positive negative 5 root 21 all over 2. Still good? And then I would fully expect at this point that you would skip the intermediary step unless you don't want to. Like, I'm not going to be the worst math teacher ever if I said you're not allowed to show the next step. Like, I just think we're probably all capable. So I'm going to hop right to it and say x equals negative 19 plus or minus 5 root 21. And I'm just going to put it all over 2 like that. Any questions there? I'm getting bored. Would anyone else like to try to do a problem on this board? Has anyone ever written on this before? You want to try?
Not you, Sutter.
Here, so let me give you, hold on, let me give you, oh my God. So, Sutter, we're all gonna have to go sit 3 inches from the TV. Like, Dad, do you have a thinner pen? I can only write. Quick tutorial. When you hover within about a half an inch, it moves the cursor. When you tap, you interact with the screen. Up here at the top, keep looking. Up here at the top, these 3, can you kind of see where I'm interacting up here? Those are the erasers. So if you want a big chunky eraser, you pick Fatso and you can erase a lot. These 3 right here are the pens. Generally, I don't use a lot of fatty pen. Okay, I tend to stick to middle of the road pen. If I'm trying to write delicately, I go with baby pen. And then your colors are over here on the left. That's your tutorial. If you mess up, watch this. Watch, let's say I write the word fart. And I'm like, wait, I didn't mean, you bet I am. And I'm like, I didn't mean to write the word fart. So what do? Watch, I hit this yellow back arrow and I'm like, look, now I was gonna say you can't prove that I wrote fart, but I'm recording. So yeah, you could prove it. But the point is like, okay, so you got the tutorial erasers. What, the fart? Anyways, you've got your erasers, you've got your pens, you've got your colors, and you've got your undo button, and it's wireless, so you can work from your desk. And I would like to make sure we do get done, but honestly, I'm getting bored going over these. So I can keep the recording going because it's hilarious when people try to write them. Anyone want to do one? Boy, this is going to be a clinic in handwriting. All right, we'll do Sutter first. It should work from back there, bro, but you can sit wherever you want. I don't know. I've never tried it from like 18 feet away, but oh, and also one other bit of tutorial. If you look up at the top, right here is where you get a new page. See the little white thing with the plus? It's going to be hard for you because you're far away. I have this advantage here. So if I click that, boop, I get a new page. Oh, good luck, son.
You contacted, right? Yeah.
And you're doing problem 8.
Right.
Oh boy. All right.
You're the front. Right. You can sit right there. There's a desk there. It's empty. Why are you rushing around like that? It's gonna be so empty.
Every one of these yahoos laughing at you is going to feel a little different when they try it. So you just keep on keeping on, Sutter.
Yeah, it was 49. Okay, so then down below.
Do your best.
Do this first.
Yes, sir.
That. So 49 times 4. That gives me then you add 9, and then you go 5. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the record, I think you're doing great, so. When I first started using one of these wireless boards like 15, 20 years ago, whew, I was like, how do I cannot write well. And then eventually you just figure it.
Was it 4?
Sure.
Stop there, pause. Everyone, you are the teacher, you have the red pen. What criminal offense has been committed? He forgot his positive negative sign. And I'm not interested if you say something like, I like to put it in later. That's it happens when it happens, and it happens the moment you root. So keep going there, Sutter. Yeah, that actually was not bad. Your square root sign that doesn't cover the whole 205 is going to visit me in my sleep tonight. That honestly is a pretty small complaint. So nice job. Swaggy B, you're going to give it a go? If you want to make a new page, you can. You can also grab the little hand at the bottom in the toolbar and drag and scroll text up. Boy, you all are about to be welcomed into my world, so enjoy.
Whoa!
How do I not do
You
that?
click the X. Yeah, that'll work. Someone's angry.
It's like, I'm going to write this negative 80 up in the clouds. I don't know why. Bro, that's supposed to be a 9. I know you know that, but you just can't read your own handwriting. It's 289 over 4. Just move your cursor down. It interacts with the top up there. That's where it goes to the zoom menu. Grab the little hand tool down at the, you see the bottom toolbar? Touch that. Just click on the hand. Yep. Click it. Now just on the screen, just pull down, like click and pull down. There you go. Yeah, back on the pen. You aced it. You getting rid of that abomination of a 9? It is. I don't much care for the way it looks, so I tend not to use it. Maybe I should try it some more. Oh, that's looking better, Bryce.
Impressive.
Stop. Pause. Again, let's be the math police. What egregious criminal offense has earned Bryce 16 to 20 years in the math penitentiary. Nope, stop, quit writing, stop. Come on, nope. Before this, it's in the line above. He didn't add 289/4 to both sides of the equation, did he? Remember, that's like number one on the what's the punishable offenses.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure yet. We gotta wait about 6 minutes while he draws another two. About 9:30, we'll be ready for the next step.
Yeah, like would that be like?
I think Kim just moved that one.
I don't have a problem with that. I have this, we can fill this out. The cootie catcher. Just laugh, that's the name. Let me say it with it's a cootie catcher. It catches cooties.
So is this the recording that you're best?
Oh,
You should still post it on YouTube, but you should say it was special guests, yeah. You're like behind the scenes.
don't forget, you can use the undo button too. That yellow arrow up at the top. I know it's hard to see, but that will save you some time. If you just want to do a quick fix on something. And that, as you know, from the ones we did together, that's the step I probably would have skipped right there, right? But I got no issues if it helps you. But that step I probably wouldn't put. Yeah. All right, we got there. Good job. It is. I know it's fun though, with letting you guys. It's way more fun than me doing it. So we got plenty of time. Who wants to do number 10? You want to do number 11? Kinsley's gonna do 10. You can do 11. Okay. You want 12?
How great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. My only issue is you didn't leave space for your completing the square. You didn't leave that awkward void after the 13x. But honestly, it is.
Oh, Cooper. You have to wait. Yeah.
I don't know. I avoid all those things. You can assign it to do different things that probably erases, but I don't know that perfect. I notice you guys aren't big on changing colors, which maybe today is not our changing color day.
Right there. Yes, I think it's 13.
That's an uncool stuff.
No, no, no.
Could you stop writing for a second? I'm gonna take over. Hey, get that squared up. That X doesn't belong there. You had a lot of little taps on the screen, so when you hit undo, you had to undo like 20 things. That's why. It takes a while to get back there. $256. It takes 16 quarters to make $4. So if you need $4.25, you need one more quarter. 17. You need that extra quarter to go to the 25 cents. I will say, watching Kinsley play with the undo button, I see why you like the eraser better, because the undo is a little rough. Evie has dubbed 11 and Sebastian dubbed 12, so, or dibbed, not dubbed, dibbed. They dibbed it. Right, yeah. Yep. You got her done. Good job. Evie, you ready for 11? Yeah. That was a rough 4. No. It kind of looks like a lot of things. It kind of looks like I don't know what it looks like. Yeah.
She's drawn. I know. One more. They're kind of going sideways.
Let's go sideways, you're going down with these. Five, so much.
Make sure you divide by -2. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Everybody clear? I know this is a little bit new. Okay.
End quote. You know, that.
Yeah, you must have not been there that day, Mason. We need to get the x squared to not have any numbers with it. So we're going to divide everything by whatever's attached to x squared. That's what I would have done too. She showed her division in a different way, but it works just fine. Same thing. I've noticed that sometimes you guys do this, and I find it, I'm not opposed to it. I think it's smart how you guys skip to that just while that number 9/2 is fresh in your mind. I think it's pretty cool. But then I think you go back and you backfill the 81/4, which I think is, yeah, cool. I like it.
You can't complain about your team.
No, this is actually pretty good. You do this, you said, like for art, like drawing, right?
Yeah, it's not as fancy.
Still, though, I can tell you've done it before. It's pretty good, pretty smooth.
It's on the. Oh my god.
You guys knock it off, please. Thanks. Mason. I do hate your diagonal fractions for the record, but I'm not, it's okay. I don't even know. I shouldn't have said anything. Oh, okay. All right. It's all good. All good. Two thumbs up from this guy. Well done, Evie. Sebastian, you want the last one? Can you do it in 6 minutes or like 8 minutes, I guess? Okay. Last one, number 12. You guys feel like you're getting this okay? Good. That was really good, Evie. Thank you, Mason. That is that thing went twice through the ugly line. Went back for a second helping. So that is the danger zone, as I call it. And we're all big kids. I know we can handle it, but you do know he did two things. He divided, but then also had to move the 40 to the other side. So yeah, it's all good. Can I show you something real quick? Can you just stop with the pen? If you guys like using this, we can do this periodically, but I want to show you another trick. Don't touch, get your pen like lifted up. There you go. There's another thing you can do. Like Sebastian, I know for a fact right now is thinking, oh snap, I should have left room for my completing the square. So if you grab this down here, there's a little arrow, and it's kind of hard to do, but if you very delicately drag it over some things, you can highlight them and then click, drag, and you can move them off to the side like that. So just a hack. So there you go. There you go. On the house. Oh man. It's up at the very top, the yellow backwards arrow. Do you see it? I can't really see the yellow thing. It's right above. Go to the right. Can I move? Look right here. You see where I'm moving my mouse? Right above there. Took, 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 took. You see that yellow arrow? Back, undo. Positive, negative.
Oh, positive. Positive.
No, other one. There you go. Better done. Uh, I'll probably post this. I don't know. I'll see why not.